Football has never looked cleaner. Faster pace, adversarial is more standardized. The lens is higher definition, but behind this perfection, a harsher truth is the villains on the field are disappearing. Go back in time to November 23, 2002 at the Camp Nou. Figo returns to Barcelona's home court in yellow horse and white clothes. At that moment, this is no longer a stadium, and like a colosseum out of control. Mineral water bottle, coin lighters hit one after another. Even a pig's head rolled off the sidelines. He became a traitor. It was also the most typical villain symbol of that era. In the football world of the past, villains are not anomalies. They're part of the structure. Someone is responsible for scoring. Others are responsible for creating conflict, emotional oppression, and confrontation. The greatness of heroes needs villains to set off. But today, it's being blinded by the system. Former football, full of characters that make your opponents hate you. And a typical example of that is Diego Costa. He's not just a striker, more like a psychological warfare expert. Personal provocation, garbage, covert conflict, just waiting for the opponent to get out of control and make mistakes. Pepe takes defense to the other extreme. Violence in the 2009 Madrid derby make him the center of controversy, but it has also occupied the core position of Real Madrid's defense for a long time. Stowe's wife, Cove, is known for his emotional outbursts and extreme personality. Keen, they intimidate their opponents with almost retaliatory tackles. And Mourinho was on the sidelines. He is a conflict officer. Together, they form an era. Football allows bad guys to exist, even rely on them to create dramatic tension. But why haven't they been fully understood? Because football in the old days contained chaos. Referees have limited vision. Small actions are often ignored. The media needs conflict fighters to sell newspapers. Business sponsors also prefer people with stories. The villain at that time was not only not excluded, instead it is the traffic core. The real twist. Yes, the system starts to connect. The first layer of change in the tube competition comes from technology. Away from AR and multi-camera playback. Let every covert action be hidden. Provocations that could be exploited in the past. Elbow pedal. Now it can be locked by playback in tens of seconds. Direct red card plus supplementary competition. The second level is the maximization of the tactical system. Guardiola football. Transform the team into a precision machine. Emotional loss means a tactical change. Coaches don't need tough roles anymore. Just need pawns with stable execution. Villain attributes start to become secondary assets. The third layer comes from changes in player relationships. Globalization makes the top players become part of the same ecosystem. Communicate with the economic team and youth training. They competed in derbies together as teenagers. Hatred is diluted by professional relationships. The opponent on the court may be a teammate or even a friend off the court. The fourth layer comes from the youth training system. Street football is gradually disappearing and they get standardized college training. Discipline and etiquette. Media expression becomes a must-visit. Emotional, impulsive players are weeded out early on. The fifth layer is also the most critical layer. The capital and public relations system. Modern players are global brand equity. An out-of-control action could affect a contract, sponsorship, and commercial value, so the controllable image becomes the first priority. After the five-story structure is superimposed, villains are gradually losing their living space, but they're not gone. It evolved. Emiliano Martinez is the template for a new generation of villains. He no longer relies on violence. They rule the penalty shootout with psychological warfare. Delay provocation and disrupt rhythm. Let the opponent collapse under invisible pressure, even pushing for the rules to be changed. Vinicius represents another modern confrontation. He doesn't hide his emotions. Directly respond to boos, countering grandstand pressure with dance and movement. Transforming opposition into part of personal expression. On the coach bench, Mourinho, Simeone still exists. They are still fighting hard. Emotional externalization. But it's gone from the norm to the exception. The system as a whole has long since turned calm and controllable. So the question becomes clear. Is football really better? And the answer is complexity. From a competitive perspective, modern football is faster, more scientific, more fair. Covert fouls reduced. Tactical execution is more refined. The overall quality of the game has improved. But on a narrative level, football has lost something important. Conflict and character tension. Matches used to be more than just scores. It's a personality collision. It's not just a contest between teams. It's also a collision between human nature. The greatness of heroes has always depended on the existence of villains. The reason why Figo is remembered, not just because of the transfer, but because he became the mood of the era. Exporting today's football, more like an efficient system. Clean and rational, predictable, but that's why those envious moments are decreasing. The villains are not disappearing on the pitch. They are just pushed out of the rules, or quietly optimized by the whole era. And football is also in this optimization, becoming more and more perfect, also more and more quiet.